Welcome back to the Shadetree Garage, and it's been a while since my last update. Today I'm going to give you an update on the rust repairs on my 1956 Plymouth, where things are, and where I'm going next. That's today in the Shadetree Garage. All right, guys, today we're back here in the Shadetree Garage for the new year, 2025. And today I'm going to give you a quick update on what's going on with the 56 Plymouth and what my next plans are for it. All right, so let's take a quick look. We'll start at the front of the car on this driver's side and take a look at where we are, and we'll get this deal done. All right. All right, this is the driver's side lower fender, and you can see that I've got the patch completed right here, and then down here, and I've got fiberall light, or actually it's down here at the bottom. That's waterproof short strand body filler, courtesy of Bondo. So this patch came out really well. It's going to need a I'll probably put a light, thin coat of fiberglass reinforced waterproof body filler over that, especially around the welds because they're a little bit low. But this has really came out well. I'm going to skim coat. I'm going to skim coat the lower part of this fender all the way down just to give a nice smooth finish. All right, right next to this is a anyway, there was a hole right here, and a rust hole, and ended up getting larger as I worked on it, which was not unexpected. And so anyway, the rest of this panel is just solid as rock. I've examined it inside, so I need to finish out this, and again, I'll use some good quality smooth body filler like U-Pole Gold. That's what I'm thinking of right now. I've got USC Light, which isn't a bad body filler, but at this temperature, when it gets down below 60 degrees, that stuff, it's kind of stiff and thick anyway. I've got some USC, well, they call it body filler thinner, but it's the same as, say, plastic honey. But I think I'm going to try a better quality U-Pole Gold, which is a smoother, it goes on much smoother. So that's my plan for this. And I want to get this, I should be able to get this all worked down without too much trouble. And then it'll be ready for primer and paint. All right, we'll go back to the next corner. Sorry about the shadows, but you can see this was another rust spot that I repaired. Again, not real big. I did have to cut open the, cut back a little bit to find good solid metal. Not a problem though, and this came out really nice. It'll finish out nice. Now next to this, try to keep out of my light. You can see the green tape is approximately where I'm going to cut this panel. Now you can see the real down here. You can see the rust. You can see the line of rust going across here, and that appears to be an actual split. I haven't, and this was beat the hell in right through here. It was dented in. You can see the rust. It was dented in order to be able to fill it with body filler, and it had a substantial thickness of body filler on it, obviously. So my plan is to cut it along through here, and then or maybe even a little lower. I need to see what all this is, because this is pretty good contour up till about just below the green tape. Then they started beating it in. So I'm still decided. I'm not sure I want to try a butt weld, to be honest. My butt welding skills aren't so hot right now. I may end up going down here where it's beat in, uh, where it's lower than the panel, and overlap a little bit and do some spot welds. Um, I don't know. I'm still not sure what to do there, but I've got plenty of good metal to work with. Now down here on the bottom of this panel, there's no rust evident. Um, the very bottom of this panel is solid all the way over up until you get to this corner, and then you can see some rust right there. So I'm going to have to kind of rebuild that corner, but the rest of it across here is in good solid condition. So anyway, the metal I have for this rust repair is 12 inches wide, and so it's going to take probably 2.5, or it's going to take at least three different panels. At least three different panels will have to uh, be be welded in. But I think it's going to work. It should work okay. And the rest of the panel so far looks pretty good. There's no rust. So I'll check around the wheel opening. Um, I'll check closely. Now I actually have one of the reproduction parts that's still available is the wheel opening from about right mid wheel on both sides. It goes up, replace the whole wheel arch. I don't think I'm going to need it, but I went ahead and bought two of them while they were available. So that's, if needed, I've got it. We'll have more come and make some progress. Now the other side of the car, the passenger side, has just about the same rust issues in this panel, except on the passenger side, the lower corner of both doors. Now the fender on the passenger side, it looks solid, but again, until you really get sanding on it and really looking close, you're never sure where rust may be lurking. All right, that's the update on my 1956 Plymouth. I'm not any really much further than I was the last update, but I've got a plan and what I'm doing. I'm going to order some U-Pole gold, and I've got to get these other spots that I've got patched, get them welded, at least get the bodywork roughed in, and have it ready to finish for primer. And the other panel, the front quarter panel, it's gonna. I'll have to think about exactly how I want to fix that. I'm not going to leave the panel uh, as low as it is, because that panel had upwards of eighth to 3/8. An eighth, well, less than half an inch of body filler in its deepest. But I tell you, I've had my grinder, and I ground and I ground and I ground before I hit metal. I don't plan on doing that again. So once I figure out if I have to wrap that whole quarter panel, those patches underneath, and I could spot weld them there if I have to. But until I really get down underneath it with a grinder to see how solid it is, I won't be able to make that decision. I'm still leaning towards butt welding, but and it's not, and that's the right way to do it in my book. But I'm I still want my welding skills to be a little better. I'm still learning on my MIG how to set it, and my welds have gotten better. I had to actually, but in the last week, I had to weld up some stovepipe. Was reusing a stovepipe for our wood pellet stove, and that is double wall pipe. The inner layer is stainless steel and the outside galvanized. So, and I had to separate it from an old pipe. I needed the 90-degree corner, and those things are brand new, are $140. And on pellet stovepipe, if you're not familiar with it, it locks together. You slide them together and turn it, like not even an eighth of a turn, and it locks. Well, the problem is I needed parts from a pipe that had been using for 10 years. And even though they lock and they're supposed to unlock and disassemble, after you've had those pipes together that long and they've had gone through so many heat and cool cycles, and they've got, creosote or whatever crap burns off these pellets, they're difficult to get apart. And in fact, to reuse that elbow, I had to cut the pipe it attached to off, and it also cut some slots in that elbow, in the mounting area for that elbow. So I had to weld those up to get everything solid again. But the welder did fine, and everything worked great. So anyway, I've been doing body work, but not on a car. All right, well, that's going to do it for now. And my work out here in the garage is going to depend largely on how cold it gets. Now, this is mid-January. We have our coldest weeks from this point on through about mid-February. Occasionally, we'll have a really cold snap in the weeks after. But we have about a month left of potentially really bitterly cold weather and more snow. So my torpedo heater does a good job when it's down in the 20s and the wind's blowing outside. A lot of air gets in around the doors, and I do good to keep it at 60, raising it from the 20s to the 60s. So anyway, if I can get in here and it's warm enough, we'll get some more work done. And the next update for the Shadetree Garage, I've got a newcomer, a new addition to the Shadetree Garage, and I'll give you the full tour next time. Until then, have a great week, stay warm, and we'll see you next time here in the Shadetree Garage.